Welcome back to episode 4 of the solar series, and this episode we're going to be focusing on the EV charger because obviously I get a lot of electric vehicles. We have the MG4 long term, which I'm currently in. Having the ability to charge at home is of huge benefit, plus solar, plus battery storage. It all starts to become an ecosystem. So today we have SSE Airtricity and My Energy installing the new Zappy Glow at the house on a pedestal. I'll show you where it's going to go in a bit. I have the My Energy app already because I have a Zappy already fitted in my parents' house, which I paid for with my own money. I'm very happy to do so. I find the app really good. Never had an issue with it. Never had an issue with the Zappy 2.0 either. But the Glow is the newer version and more compact, no screen. We did a video on it over on the Nevo website and an article, etc. So I've seen how it's made. I've seen the thought that they've put into it. I've seen the rationale behind it. EV Max, I think, is the new SSE Airtricity tariff that is 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. And so, 6 hours. That's a lot of kilowatts going into your car. If you're maxing it out at 7 kilowatts, that's 42 kilowatts at a lower rate. So fair play to SSE Airtricity for bringing that wider window, and that's just going to encourage others in the market to do that as well. The series is in partnership with SSE Airtricity and Activate Energies, and this episode with My Energy and the Zappy Glow. Rob, we're going to have a look through what the next steps are now that you've arrived on site. There was, as we mentioned before you arrived, where the foam was down here, there is a concrete base down there.
Yes.
And it was ducted.
It's ducted all the way to this small enclosure.
And so what Rob did was he fished it to make sure it wasn't blocked. This with new developments, well, my new development anyway, there was a footprint there and the ducting, which helps. And it goes all the way over to here. So we've got our fibre up there, Cat 5 or?
Cat 5, Cat 6 running back to the fuse consumer unit.
And then that goes up into the actual fuse board then as well.
Yes, we're going to check to make sure we have an earth rod.
Lovely.
Also in the meter cabinet, what we want to check for is, we want to check that we have a neutralizing link.
Very good.
And that we have overload protection on our mains cable running back to the fuse board. It's a new build, so that's part of the regulations. It would have to be there.
But for existing properties that would be fitting EV chargers, there's a lot of this stuff that you have to be...
Yeah, it wouldn't. It depends on what version of the regulations and when it was built.
Okay.
This wouldn't have been like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. That wouldn't have been a thing.
Standard.
It wouldn't have been a standard.
And I've heard where people, like 16 square, but they might have 10 square, they might have 6 square.
Yeah, these cables here, you may come to a house, they could be 6 square or 10 square. That's something that would need to be upgraded before an EV charger could be fitted. Some old installations were only there for maybe a person had maybe one socket in every room. The demand on electricity supply was extremely small. So it's all to do with the pre-checks before you start doing an EV charger.
And we're going to do some pre-checks inside now on the meter box. So we'll go in now and have a look at that.
Yeah. Part of our procedure before we start, we would take pictures of kind of everything. We have a review team, and they will look at our pictures from the start, and they can look at our pictures at the end, and they can look and go, hold on a second, that's different. Did you move something?
Okay.
And if you've moved it for a reason, rationale, they can go, yeah, right, I understand that. But if it's moved and you didn't intentionally move, it can happen. There could be a loose connection in the board, something you haven't touched. We do catch that at the end when we go through everything.
Nice.
But it's just nice to have that extra layer of protection by somebody reviewing it.
We had this with the solar installation as well. It was great to see that there's stages and QC done all the way through. Yeah. It isn't Rob sent in on his own and nobody knows what he did and didn't do.
No, there is backup there all the time. And if you did make a mistake, it's good to have somebody there in the background just in case.
Michael, we are going to be getting a Zappy Glow installed if we want to come over and get on the road before we get run down. The newest Zappy, is that correct?
It is, yes. So our original Zappy was brought out about 9 or 10 years ago, and it was essentially brought out for early adopters of solar and renewables. Right now in 2025, we have much more mass market of people that maybe potentially don't have solar, don't have batteries, but they are EV and they want something simple.
Yes.
They want something with a more better carbon footprint in terms of manufacturing, easier to use on the app. Zappy Glow is screenless, so everything for convenience is on the app, and it also has RFID card technology, which would be tap to authenticate, tap to start charge, tap to end charge.
Brilliant. And so there's smart charge or no smart charge. The level of detail in the Zappy 2.0, people don't need that. The mass market doesn't need that.
Our original charger had Stop, Fast, Eco and Eco Plus. And Zappy Glow is now simply smart on, smart off.
Lovely. So we've got the Zappy Glow. We're going to be seeing that being put up by Rob from Cersei, and you've been kind enough to bring along a pedestal as well. So the pedestal is going to go over on the other side.
So search for device. It's picking up your Zappy. You have solar panels.
Yep, and battery storage.
And battery storage. Okay. Flashing white startup, pulsing white ready to pair, solid white pairing. So
lovely. So she's pulsing.
You have a little symbol here.
Oh, very good. You can hear it tapping away there, and it's flashing white.
No,
there,
solid white.
So it's paired.
That's paired.
Brilliant. So we fitted the pedestal, we fitted the isolation switch. You have done QC, or have you yet to do that yet before you finish site?
I have all my tests done. I have to do my certs, and then I can send all those images back to my office. Perfect. And they can look through the images and check.
Give you the go ahead then.
Give me the go ahead to leave. But I still, normally what I would do is, if a person's getting a grant, I would do the grant application now and my certs.
Okay, the paperwork at the end.
And the paperwork at the end. I'll send them all off, and then I get the QC will pass it if they deem it to be everything to be okay. I've tested your new RCBO and all your existing RCDs and RCBOs, and they're all coming back fine.
Perfect.
Checked all your connections in the board, done pull tests on all of the cables I installed to make sure the terminations are tight, and marked them.
Brilliant.
So, and that indicates to me that I've done a pull test and I'm
very
happy
good
with it.
Okay.
So, but that's it.
Okay, Rob. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for everything.
And I'll give you
Bye-bye.
a leaflet.
The Zappy app is very easy to use. You can see the ecosystem here. You've got the house on the top, the grid on the bottom right, and then your charger on the bottom left. And when you click on that charger, it will give you some really good information. You can see on the top the charge added in the last session. You can have it on smart charging or not smart charging. If you turn off smart charging, it just becomes a standard charger. It will give you the full amount as soon as it can and as much as the car can take. If you turn on smart charging, then you can have the NFC card to activate it, then you can schedule it. Now, if you don't have smart charging, you can still lock or unlock the charger, be that it gives power, it doesn't give power. At the bottom, you'll also see charge history for the last week. You can see where we charged the car twice. So nice and simple app. You can have it as smart as you want or as simple as you want. Charger itself, we're very happy with it. It's on the pedestal. It's got the isolation switch. Some people would put the isolation switch on the back of it. I'm not too bothered about it. It's all very compact, and it's a tethered unit, so the cable is attached to it. That is it for episode 4. We'll see you on the next one.